So in this build we're going to be using a gigabyte motherboard, which is stroke for PC like related business work and stroke gaming, so it's half and half. There's definitely potential there to actually make it into a full like business computer, or full potential to making a gaming, but we're going straight down the middle. So we're going to be using a Silverstone Strider Platinum Edition. It's 750 watts. We don't need too much, and it's just enough to keep going for the future. We're going to be using obviously the Intel Core 6700K for overclocking. We're going to be using Antec water cooling H600, and that's fairly new, just came out in, I think I got it last year, but I've only just started to actually building it now. So we're going to get to that point and we're going to check the temperatures and make sure that it's pretty cool. And then we've got the Silverstone 2.4 wireless reset and power on and off module. This goes into a PCI slot in the motherboard, and I wanted to test it out, see if it's really good or what it's all about. Then we're using the EVGA GTX 970 for rendering wires and for graphics wires. It's like in between obviously the 960 and the 980. So we've got the potential to do 4K, but we've also got rendering power and everyday sort of stuff, and obviously it's onboard graphics on that motherboard, so it does all help as well. We're going to be using a 266 MHz DDR4 Corsair Vengence LPX RAM, and we've got 2 sticks of that, 16 gig, and that'll be more than enough for gaming and for video editing, because we want to keep the budget down and we don't want to go really crazy with like 128 gigabytes of RAM and stuff like that in a slot. That means we need a bigger motherboard and loads of stuff as well. So yeah, I think that is kind of it. And then obviously you've got the case as well, which are using the Anidees A16 case, and it's nice and big and it's nice and cool and it's strong, durable, so it's got the business sort of type to it, and it's got like the ports. It's got 2 USB 3 ports at the top and then 4 USB 2s where I can plug in little peripherals and USB headphones and stuff like that, and we've got power on and reset button there and the lights, and hopefully look nice. And I've got a little window there so I can show off the graphics card. What I like about this actual case, you can see that you can actually put a graphics card front ways. So instead of having it slotted in into the motherboard, so that's the motherboard, your graphics card slots in like that, you actually have the you can have like a cable that comes out and the graphics card shows against the window, so it will look really tasty. But I haven't got the cable, so I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I'll probably no, I probably won't do it, but I'll do it in the next build. This is like everything I need. So I've got 120 gig solid state drive by Intel, 480 gig hard solid state drive from OCZ, and that's going to be to put some video edits on there and some games. That's big enough for that. And 120 is just going to be the boot off drive, which will be a Windows 10 operating system, and that's it. So let's get on with the build. So finally, we've got an Intel processor from Intel, and this is the 6700K processor. Now, it's in a black box because obviously it's from Intel, and we're going to unbox it right in front of you, because this is the opening for me to show you overclocking on this CPU. So this is all about the 6700K Intel processor by Intel. So I'm glad Silverstone opted and gave me one of these remote controls. I really like it. It's really cool that you can turn the computer on and off. What I think they should have done is had a little navigation button on there, so on the screen you could just scroll down and shut the computer down properly rather than powering it off. Obviously it doesn't really do much of a damage to the computer or your hard drives, but it's more of a safer way to power down the computer properly. And obviously you've got a reset button as well. I think it's quite cool. It's a little gimmick. You can add to your keyring, show it off, and especially the modders that have got all their computer rig all set up and stuff, they can just turn it on and not be in the way of the computer. And I can also turn it on from the actual computer itself and reset as well if I want to, but the remote control is all connected together. But the cables do seem a little bit messy inside there, but it's one of them things and it covers it up. If we had the Strad, as I said, it would be quite cool. But other than that, I ain't had any more problems with it. I think it's alright. Could have had a few more grommet holes to the case. I know in the previous review, if you look at the case I'm talking about, I was saying it's quite a nice case and everything like that. Yes, it is, but it could have had more grommet holes for the actual motherboard, and you can have cables that could slide through. I do like they've added Velcro cable straps in there and stuff, and it's very solid and it's a unique design. Right, I enjoyed the build, other than on the back of the Anidees A16 was there was a problem with the expansion slot. The expansion slot was slightly too high, so I couldn't get the radiator in. The only way of fixing it was adding a push and pull configuration and having some extra long screws for the back. So I had to use the Anidees 120mm fan on the back of here and extended it out, and it just covered over the expansion bracket, which sorted it right out. Now inside the case, I didn't like the coloured cables that are inside the actual case and the Molex that you connect to it. It would have been much better if it was SATA and it was hidden in the back of the actual case. All the cables are quite hard to obviously hide. If it had the Stroud over for the power supply and the covers for a little opening where you can tuck the cables in, superb. It would be excellent. The whole case is really fine, really strong, durable, straight to the point. And that is the end of the review. So I hope you liked that review, because if you did, drop me up a like. But if you didn't dislike it, let me leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the video, and leave a comment and tell me if you've got this case and you've had any problems, or if you've got any other computer problems. I'll help you. Just leave a comment down below and I'll comment back to you within 24 hours hopefully. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next one.